Hello, everybody. Very good Wednesday morning to you all. Maybe shivering a little bit this morning, right? Temperatures, it got pretty cool last night, downright chilly. There were a few areas that woke up with temperatures in the 30s. Eric Burke was talking about this morning on air. I think Pulaski got down to 36 degrees, and even in like Meridianville at the airport, North Huntsville, got it down to like 38. So chilly. It wasn't in the 30s long enough to have like any kind of frost or anything like that, but it was certainly crisp to start the day. And we'll probably have two more nights very similar. So tonight into Thursday, and then Thursday night into Friday, probably more in the way of some 30s mixed in with some low 40s. So some very chilly air for this time of year. Usually get to the end of October, you start having that transition to where it starts to feel a little bit more fall-like on a regular basis. You stop to have more in the way of 60s and 70 degree days and 70s and 80s. And you can start to feel the chill on a more regular basis. Happens almost like on point at the end of October, right when we get towards Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, it's now in our 10-day forecast, and we'll actually talk a little bit more about that towards the tail end of the 10-day because it has some cool temperatures for the trick-or-treaters. Nothing worse than having to wear a costume over or a coat over your costume, right? Well, that might be the case this year. All right, let me pull graphics up. Let me see if I did this right. There we go. Parkway, beautiful. Eric Burke talked about how there would probably be hard-pressed to find a cloud out there today. So far, that forecast is about as accurate as it can get. I'm going to show you the satellite, too, and it's crazy how clear the skies are for such a large chunk of the U.S., including here in the Tennessee Valley, where the temperature has rebounded to 50s and low 60s after that really chilly start this morning. And we'll probably make a run at 70 this afternoon, and most of you will likely fall short. There'll probably be more in the way of 68s and 69s out there, not probably like 71s or 72s, just a hint below 70. And it's very uniform temperatures. And what I mean by that is it's almost like a BLT sandwich. You know, you got the bacon, the lettuce, the tomato, and it's all evenly distributed on the bun or the bread. You have a layer here of blue, green, yellow, and it's very west to east orientated, but it's not really a true zonal pattern. It's a little bit of a dip in the temperature, a little trough building behind a front yesterday, and that's what's cooled our temperatures back. In fact, the front hasn't quite made it through the East Coast yet, so areas like D.C. and New York City are actually a little bit warmer, so to speak, than we are here in Huntsville right now. And what that front did was it sparked a little rain on Tuesday, and as it moves south, the air behind it is comfortable. It feels good. There's a little wind that's kicked in. We'll have a breeze throughout the day, close to 20 out of the northwest, and it just feels phenomenal. There's the front that I talked about. It's to our south. High pressure in control of our forecast, and it will stay in control of our forecast to close out the weekend, at least begin the weekend, but it won't stick around for the second half of the weekend. We got some changes coming by Sunday. So next 12 hours looks pretty good. Lots of sunshine, transitions to cool temperatures. If you happen to have a Wednesday night plans to be out on the town, maybe doing a little dinner action or whatever your plans are, and you're going to be maybe outdoors, some sporting events in terms of high school action, not just football, but other sports play outside too. Temperatures will cool off quickly because the winds will back off almost immediately when the sun sets, which is earlier and earlier and earlier each and every day. And once the sun goes down, the winds stop, the temperatures drop, and we fall to the 40s by 11 p.m. On our way to 42 for the low. But again, there'll be some upper 30s mixed in when you wake up for that morning commute or on your way to the bus stop on Thursday morning. On your 10-day forecast, Havoc home opener Friday night. Obviously, that game's played indoors. It feels a little hockey-like outside, though, with the colder temperatures at night. But the days this time of year can still respond to sunshine and warm up nicely, and that's why we have some 70s for Thursday and Friday. Probably could take that 20% out for Saturday. If it rains on Saturday, it will be so late at night that it's really Sunday morning. But the clouds will increase Saturday, so it's not going to be the brightest day, but temperatures in the 70s, not bad. And then that's just a chilly, cool rain on Sunday. Scattered showers, nothing severe. Temperature sits at 63. That's a chilly rain to fall for the second half of the weekend. We kept some showers and storms in for Monday and Tuesday. At this time, it doesn't look like severe weather, just some much needed rainfall, mid-60s. And that rain shower activity could linger into the middle part of the week on Wednesday before we dry out just in time for the end of the week, which includes the Halloween forecast. And notice the high temperature on Halloween. So if you're 58 during the afternoon, that might be a bit aggressive. It might be more like low 60s, but still, nonetheless, that's a pretty cool day, and that means that the nights themselves will probably be pretty chilly. So setting up right now that trick-or-treat forecast on Friday evening will probably be pretty chilly. I would imagine it's going to be very similar to what we have tonight, where those temperatures, once the sun goes down, will drop off quickly, and it will be one of those trick-or-treat forecasts where you either put the jacket over the costume or you put a sweatshirt underneath the costume, because it will pretty cool out there. I mean, a lot of trick-or-treaters now, they go door to door, but there's also a lot of events too that take place indoors as well. But nonetheless, it looks like it will be dry. At least we won't need a poncho or an umbrella, but may need to try to stay warm because it will be kind of cool. Don't forget too, if I remember correctly, that is the 31st of October, obviously. But I think daylight saving time is that Sunday, right? It comes earlier than it can come at all times, pretty much. Let me see this. Yeah. So on not this Sunday, but next Sunday, the clocks fall back 1 hour, and that means that your morning sunrise will be much earlier. It also means that your sunset will be much earlier, and therefore the days are not getting shorter, but the daylight hours get shorter. And therefore what happens is you start having those sunsets that are about 5 o'clock. And that will happen not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Comes up quick because it's right after Halloween. It's pretty much the earliest it can be, unless it's on the 1st. But that's the time of year we're in. We're starting to get into those months where you start talking about colder temperatures and longer hours of darkness. And yeah, we're getting into that mode soon. Halloween, almost here. Thanksgiving around the corner. If you're a big fan of Christmas shows, Hallmark has already started their Christmas bonanza, and they've already have their shows playing. All the stores have all their Christmas items in there, and they've kind of passed over Halloween. They have like one little aisle of candy, and then everything else is like a whole bunch of Christmas stuff. They don't put anything out for Thanksgiving, of course. But that time of year, we're here, right? It's almost here. Tropical situation, just want to update you on that. Remember, the hurricane or tropical season goes all the way till November 30th. And there is a storm that's churning around in the Atlantic right now. And yeah, it looks like it will set sights on areas like Jamaica in the next couple of days. It's not going to move very much. It just spins around. So Melissa is just south of Jamaica and Haiti, and eventually will weeble wobble itself north and continue to bring tremendous amounts of rainfall to Jamaica, probably the Dominican Republic, and Haiti as well, right through next Monday. And whether it becomes a hurricane or not, it's forecast to become a hurricane, but it's not yet. It's a tropical storm. It will likely be a big rainmaker regardless if it gets named or not. That's just trivial. If it becomes like a, not named, but a hurricane, if it becomes hurricane like a Cat 1 or a tropical storm, the winds might be a little stronger, but the headline is going to be the rainfall. There'll probably be numerous national stories, and they'll cover it. There'll be mudslides, and could be a really significant impact to especially the island of Jamaica. There's already tropical storm. I think it's a warning that's been issued for Jamaica already. So concerns in that area of the U.S. for a tropical storm or a hurricane. At this time, where Melissa goes after that, to be determined, but it looks like it literally parks itself in that one area for like the next 6 days, and then where it branches off from there, or if it just gets ripped apart, either way, we'll be tracking that for you too. But no immediate threat to the lower 48 right now, and certainly not for the Tennessee Valley, but something we'll watch for sure. Definitely. Hey, Sarah. Good morning. Just hopping on to say hi and see what's going on with the weather for this week. Just kind of chilling. It's an easy peasy forecast through Friday. Even Saturday is okay, Sarah. But we do get into some showers on Sunday, and probably not an all-day rain event Sunday, but it does look like when you do have some rain, it's going to feel really cool outside. 63 and some rain. Oof. That's like in-your-face kind of chilly. It'll feel like 50s with the rain. And then the rain from Monday, Tuesday, lingering to Wednesday, and early calls to clear it out just in time for the end of the week. And Halloween looks to be dry but chilly. So 10-day forecast in a nutshell for you, everybody. But TVL kicks off at 11 o'clock, and Peyton will be here, and she will be on air. All your entertainment news and getting you ready for events that may be taking place across the Tennessee Valley this weekend. Always something to do. Like if you go to the events calendar, like for North Alabama, or if you go to for Middle Tennessee, there's always like a list of things every weekend. Family stuff to do, and if the weather cooperates, it works out well. Sunday would be an issue, obviously, but Saturday looks okay. A little warm for some of you. Might want it to be a little cooler, maybe. There's like corn mazes and apple picking and pumpkin patches to go to. And I mean, always something to do. That's what's so great about this area. And so many things that are family oriented, where you can take, the little ones too and have a great day, face painting at the event, and kids love that stuff, right? So, but the weather looks like it cooperate for at least half of the weekend, and certainly it cooperates up until that point. Friday night football, for those of you who go to those games and you're sitting on those bleachers and you watch the game and you're not running around like the players, I bring like a little blanket with me this time. I mean, we've had some really great weather for high school football action this year. I think there was one night where there were a few little spotty showers. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis was tracking one night. But most of the Friday night football games have been unbelievable weather-wise, almost ideal. This Friday night will be great too, but it might just be a little bit cooler. Temperatures will drop a little faster through the evening, and might want to, if you're watching the game, prepare for that. But Dean says, bump those temperatures up next week, Jeff. It's still golf season. Hey, you know the boss. The man with the plan, Eric Berg. I call him the boss because we work in the same shift together. Plus, on the pickleball court, he's the boss too. We were talking about playing more pickleball outside and stuff, and all of a sudden it kind of dawned on both of us today. Like, if we decide to play outdoor courts, it might be to the point where we have to wear a sweatshirt when we play. It's that cool, but golf season's still in full effect, and yeah, now you get into the time of year when you try to play some golf where you could have like frost delays in the morning, right? And you can't hit the course right away, just like when you have some fog delays, or even and sometimes when it's too dewy out, they kind of delay the tee times in the morning too, right? Yeah, I'll make sure I let Eric Berg know you said that, because yeah, it's that time of year when start seeing those cooler temperatures, and your golf days are probably a bit limited, right? It is chilly. Some of those, it's the overnight lows that are like really cool. You can deal with the 60s and 70s during the day, but when you're trying to hit that early tee time and it's like 39 degrees outside, and trying to swing a golf club, I can't swing one anyway. I'm terrible. Sarah, we've been to Tate Farms 3 weeks ago. Oh, good for you. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Really cool things to do. Tate Farms, whatever. There are so many activities in this area, from Jackson County to Lauderdale County, and Middle Tennessee, even Coleman County. I mean, just so much to do each and every weekend. You can find something, and I try to find reasons to be outside on the weekend. And sometimes I sneak down to my little oasis in Guntersville, which I love to go to because I love Guntersville so much. But yeah, always something good to do. And obviously the shower Sunday might prevent some of those activities, but certainly if you want to get around to golfing, you should be okay. Saturday morning tee time should be just fine. Afternoon should be okay with a little cloud cover. But all in all, it looks pretty good. And these Dean's heads on the, even on nice winter days for golf, it's always 30-mile-per-hour winds, always, right? We're into that like that wind season too. Even on the days like, okay, you see some sun, it's like December 9th, and you're like, okay, let's go play some golf. And sunshine, you're looking out the window, and then you walk outside, a gust of wind hits you, you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to play on 30-mile-an-hour winds. I don't need the wind moving the ball in different places. I have enough trouble hitting the ball straight down the fairway. I don't need the wind taking it too. It's like trying to play pickleball outside in a 30-mile-per-hour wind, and you hit a ball, you hit a lob up, right? It just whoop, goes all the way to the right or left. And yeah, it happens a lot. But yeah, that's the time of year we're in. Anytime you have like that transition season and then taking it into winter when you have air masses that are a little warm, a little cool, and they kind of mix it up, the air is not as stagnant anymore. It's moving around, right? So you get those winds that are a little bit stronger on a more consistent basis. And yeah, golf's a challenge, right? Sometimes when it's chilly outside, sitting outside's a bit of a challenge too. I'm just like, oh. I have this little heater I put on the patio to keep things warm, and if you get the wind just the right way, it shuts it off every time, and I have to restart it every single time. It's a pain, but you get used to it. Get used to it. All right, I'm going to get going. Again, TVL on top of the hour. Gina Benitez will be in at noon, and she'll have the very latest with the news updates for you throughout the morning. And I will give a couple weather hits in between. And otherwise, we got you covered through the 1 o'clock hour. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis is in tonight. He'll have the very latest of the forecast for the end of the week, weekend, and beyond. He'll probably continue to hint at that Halloween forecast, which everybody kind of has that one eye out, because Friday night Halloweens are a little different, right? I imagine there'll be more mischievous things going on. We'll have to see how that plays out, but he'll be in tonight, and we got you covered. So everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy the beautiful fall day if you have a chance to be outside. And if you can't get outside today, you'll have another chance of more fall-like feel for Thursday and Friday to close out the week as well. For now, everybody have a fantastic day. We'll talk again soon.